Yesterday, we got the shocking bit of news that Scott Derrickson, who directed the first Doctor Strange and was supposed to direct Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness, had dropped out over creative differences, from Doctor Strange 2. That's the reason given. Creative differences is usually a euphemism for some other kind of drama that happened behind the scenes. We don't know what it is. People are saying that, Scott Derrickson is one of those directors who came up through horror, right? Doing scary movies. Scary movies that are a bit more hardcore than a traditional Marvel movie. And originally we were told that Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness, or Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, was going to be the most horror-like movie Marvel had done. So a lot of us are thinking, are they going to go, with a dark PG-13 or rated R and have Scott Derrickson, a horror movie director, do that? And so if he's leaving over creative differences, perhaps, he felt hoodwinked. Marvel told him originally, Kevin Feige, that he was going to be able to make a true horror movie. And then, they changed their minds, or they never were going to in the first place. They really wanted him to make it lighter, so to speak. And there was friction. He didn't want to do that. He either dropped out or quit, or was fired, pushed out, who knows. But anyways, the conversation around this online is basically like, well, these things happen. People are instantly moving on. Like, who are they going to get next? But if this were a DC movie and a director dropped out or over creative differences or was fired or quit, the conversation would be totally different. It would be like, DC sucks. They can't do anything right. This movie's going to be doomed. Right? The conversation is always different when a DC movie has these problems versus when a Marvel movie has them. And Marvel does have these problems. They had it with Ant-Man, right? The original Ant-Man, who was supposed to direct the first Ant-Man? Edgar Wright, right? And then, there was some creative, whatever. He left. They got Peyton Reed to do it. I think Patty Jenkins was supposed to do one of the Thor movies, and something happened, and she was pushed out, and she went over to DC. Ava DuVernay was originally supposed to do Black Panther, but I think there were some creative disagreements there, and she left. Ryan Coogler came in. Joss Whedon did Avengers Age of Ultron, and then something happened, and he wasn't working for Marvel anymore. So I just named multiple examples where Marvel directors and where Marvel movies have had director problems, but people just gloss right over those when it comes to Marvel, and they basically still think that whatever Marvel movie there are problems on will still turn out to be excellent, right? There's not all this, this movie's doomed. Because it's Marvel, it's totally okay. It's like, it's just a bump in the road. A DC movie has these same problems, and it's like, people are really a lot more negative. And, the argument people say is, well, DC has more director problems than Marvel does. But I just named 4 or 5 director problems, right? That's quite a bit on the Marvel side. That's quite a bit, right? But everybody just forgets or doesn't think about those, right? You probably didn't even know, or you probably had forgotten about the whole Patty Jenkins or Ava DuVernay situations until I just brought them up now, right? But they really did happen. And there were probably others too that I can't think of. But those don't stick in people's minds as negatives because it's Marvel. They just move right on. It'll be fine. Everyone's positive when a Marvel movie has problems, even though Marvel movies have had a lot of problems before they turn out. The Marvel movies do usually turn out good. I'm not saying that Marvel movies are terrible. I'm saying there are times when they have, difficult times to make those movies too. So, there's still a lot of negative anti-DC bias out there. And I noticed that or thought of it when the Doctor Strange 2 news dropped. Right? People weren't really negative and this movie is going to be terrible when that happened. But I know that if, a DC director drops out or is fired, it's totally different. It would have been a different story. So I guess there's still more work to be done for DC in terms of, their rep in pop culture. Let's hope that, they will continue to make, they're on a good streak right now with movies being either critically or financially successful or both. So let's hope that Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 1984 do really good this year to help continue to change people's minds for DC. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.